Dun, 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 dun. Alright, so yeah, now we're in the left. And yeah, there's highlights here. I think if I hide it, I wonder. If I could just hide it from me. Ah, sticky keys on the old cellular device. But yeah, not very competitive, so I don't do the community jams often, but I think I'll try to get into them because people really just submit anything to those community jams. So I'm like, man, if I make something with the intention of like submitting it to the community jam, I bet I'll win, you know? Oh wow. Oh gosh, I forgot to change the title of the stream. That's hilarious. Wonder if I can edit it on the fly. Yes, I can. Let's see. Dreams PS5 stream. I'm just gonna stream. And then leave that at that. I don't feel like tutorializing today as much, but I might like do some random how-to in here. Yeah, sweet. So yeah, I was able to change the name live. But yeah, can't change the position of your camera live, which is sad. Oh yeah. I given up on Duolingo so long ago. I was learning a little bit of Spanish. But yeah, it was getting to be too much. And yeah, I don't like that feeling of like feeling incompetent because I can't learn a new language. It's like, dang it. I'm used to like just picking up a skill like that. So when I try to learn a new language, that's one of those things that you really got to commit to. Whew. So yeah, here in my home screen, you can just do dream surfing in this game, you know? If you do dream surfing, like, yeah, you can just play other people's games and look at their movies and sculptures and stuff. And yeah, it's sick. Like, you can search for pretty much any topic. And of course, you know, my games are on here. Real Estate Liberator. And I think, yeah, I'm just going to plug this straight into my phone instead of having it on this wireless charger. There we go. Much better. But yeah, so I'm gonna be dream shaping. So here's a list of my creations. I've shown you the bobblehead, like I got a Ferris wheel, and I made the gondola first, you know? And then once I made the Ferris wheel, I just attached a gondola at every spoke, and yeah, I got this sick Ferris wheel in the end of it where I have a switch that you, yeah, self-explanatory. You just turn it on and then the wheel moves and then you turn it off. Just like that. This switch is so cool. It's like Apple style switch, so you can grab it with the R2 trigger. And then like you move the imp with your controller. And yeah, it clicks and it vibrates your controller. It's cool. But yeah, making objects, and then yeah, I have whole scenes that I'm working on. And hey Megan, what's up? Thanks for watching. Thanks for joining. I'm happy to get some viewers today. This is cool. So I've got like yeah, this little yeah. Thanks. Hell yeah. Yeah, hit that, smash that like button, guys. If you enjoy this content. But really, I mean, I've put a lot of work into this. It's crazy. But as you can see, you know, we've got a Boondocks game in the works here. And I just found this trampoline. Someone else made it. It's sick. But originally it flung me like way too high up into the air, so I had to edit it so it didn't fling me up in that high. Right? No, it took me so long to make this little town, like Woodcrest, and originally, like, and that's what's cool about this game. In Dreams, you can look at old versions, like, if I scoot over here, like, and this is one thing cool, really cool, real quick, genealogy, you click this, it automatically credits every resource, every author of every creation that you use in a scene or whatever, in this genealogy section. So that trampoline I just showed you, here it is, right in the genealogy. So you can go here and find out, oh yeah, you know, this was made by Lugatti, unexciting trampoline it's called. And yeah, so it's like, if you're lazy, it doesn't matter, the game just automatically credits people. But also in this section over here, versions and release, if you go like way back in the day, like when the thumbnail changes, you see, oh yeah, this was a different one and these are different ones. Like, I didn't always have a nice cul-de-sac. It used to be just like this. See, all the streets were like this grid pattern, and it was significantly uglier. The parking deck wasn't gray yet. There are way less buildings. There's this big open empty space. But a lot of the game was put together, you know, for the most part. But when you go into edit mode... Oh, whoops. That's the latest version. Oh man, like, I couldn't pick at this point because it's like I keep adding stuff, you know? And yeah, like it's just so surprising what you can do. If I go edit, say this version, see, yeah, when you go to edit, you see all the crazy wires and stuff that are involved behind everything. Like, this is a little item pickup. But yeah, from the sky, you see how simple it looks. Like, this is what the mansion originally looked like. There was no statue or any fancy things. And yeah, this is when I had like just put the soccer field in, and someone else made the bleachers, someone else made the net and the soccer ball. I made this dodgeball, which is really simple. It just has like these square flecks, so it looks like a real dodgeball, like those rubber square patterns. Hey, what's up, Jason? Hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about. I was just showing an old version of this Woodcrest area. So if you look at it from above, you can get a pretty good idea like how detailed it is. And then we look at the current version from the bird's eye view. And yeah, it's like night and day. Like whoosh. You got the cul-de-sac with a big tree in the middle. I had lots of trees everywhere, but still nowhere near enough trees. I need to go put a bunch of trees. And as you can see right now, we're at 98% graphics already, so, you know, it can only hold so much. But the convenient thing about it is that, like, once you have the sculpt in here, like, copying it doesn't cost anything. So I can add lots and lots more trees, and I'll still be at 98% because it's the same sculpt. You just copy it over and over again. I have all this stuff frozen so I don't accidentally grab it and move it around. But, yeah, originally, like, my favorite thing was sculpting, and, I love it. Like, I made these townhouses. This was the first thing I sculpted, I think, or maybe it was the pipe. Yeah, it's probably the pipe, but this is like the third thing I sculpted, and over time I learned how to, like, simplify the graphics and everything so that it didn't cost too much on this thermo, and then yeah, I sculpted this parking deck after a while, and a lot of it, like, this is nonsensical, but oh well, it's whatever. It's just like an obstacle for the gamer to, like, there's this hidden room, and this is where the black power fist is, and yeah, there's so many intricate things that go into this. Like, there's actually a gas can here, but it doesn't show up until you get the car, so if you preview invisibility, it'll toggle it on and off, and all the other gas cans. Like, there's some up here. Boop. And yeah. Like, but if we want to play the game, like, it's, like, those are scenes. Like, Woodcrest is the biggest scene, which is, like, the open world part. No, that's the thing. There's a switch built into it that, it's like inside the group, but outside of the gas can itself, that it checks the variable, and it sees, like, did you get the car yet? Because if not, the gas can's chip isn't powered either, and the chip is what controls the logic, which is what makes you collide into it and stuff, and pick it up. But yeah, that open world is the scene of Woodcrest, and then I have other scenes, and you link them all together in a dream. Like, that's the concept of, like, how you make games in this game. And so, like, if you look at this, like, it starts you off in Woodcrest, and then from there you can go to Granddad's room and Thugnificent's mansion via these two-way doors. And yeah, I just got it set up, like, so nice and everything fixed up, because, like, when you're 98% memory, in your open world part, like, because this is the level where I want people to be able to drive around in the car, but the other levels don't involve driving. So this one's already at 98%. I need to make other scenes so that I can make them complex and have different sculpts and everything, and then I don't have to worry about the car taking up all of the physics in these other scenes. So I keep it all here. But yeah, Granddad, like, he will wave at you when you first approach him. So yeah, I followed this awesome tutorial. I think it was by Neon the Coder or Tap Giles or something. Taught me how to make this NPC. So he has like the exclamation point, and he waves at you once, but like after that, he won't wave at you anymore. But yeah, you rewind time, and you can see it again. And the exclamation point goes away once you get within a certain distance. You press triangle to talk. And there's some dialogue. You seen your brother anywhere? You better not be out here acting a fool. Now this is cool because like the controller plays the little unlock sound when it shows you the door. And then it says front door unlocked, go inside and talk to Riley. And like, yeah, I have his own little idle animations. So he's reading State and Revolution by Lenin. Like, if you leave the controller alone for too long, he just starts reading that, or he'll like look at his wrist. And I added a watch recently, so it's not like nonsensical, because at first he was just looking at nothing. Now there's a watch. But yeah, someone else made that watch, you know? And it's so cool, you can just take stuff and put it into your own creation, and the game just goes, okay, genealogy, and it's like, this used this watch by this creator. So yeah, the coolest thing about this game, in my opinion, actually, yeah, that's my solid answer for you. It's not sculpting or wiring the logic together of stuff. It's actually when I first log in and I see the notification, somebody used your creation in their scene, and I just see this whole like project that somebody else is working on somewhere, like on the other side of the planet. And it's like this, like, you know, fandom for another series that I've never watched before. And it's like the most awesome thing. I look through it and it's like, oh, there's my sculpt right there. So that's the coolest thing about it, like the community and seeing people make stuff with your stuff. I just picked up this sword, so you can equip it with R1 and then you attack with square. But I took all the enemies out of my scene so far. But yeah, we have to go get Riley. So you press triangle to talk to him. He says, Granddad's tripping. I've been here all day, plus I do what I want. There's several different dialogue options you have. If you press triangle and tell him he's whack, he won't go with you. It says, yeah, address me as HR Paper Stacks, please, Huey. But there's two ways to get him to go. One is to press square. Do you want to help me with something? And then when he says what you getting into, if you say something gangsta, he'll go with you. All the other options are failure. Dangerous, forget that, I think I'm good. So, and then the other way is to just press X right away and just say, oh, hell yeah, use a true G. That's what I tell him. Hey, listen, you trying to roll out with your boy, play an imp? Because, you know, everything's G in this game. And they call those little flying around things imp, so I want to make a game that, like, doesn't have any explicit content so that kids can play. I'll see you later, Megan. Have a good one. Thanks for checking it out. See, yeah, there's day and night time showing up, so it's night, and yeah, I have these gadgets synchronized here. Finally got it set up. Day and night cycle, all inside this little chip. And it's set up so that this time variable stores like the number of seconds that have elapsed and then transfers it to the next scene. So it's night here, in my regular scene, and then once I go into Thugnificent's mansion, there's a trigger zone that sends me to the next scene, and when you look out the window, it's still night. It doesn't change to like daytime, and then if you were to go back, same thing. It's still night when you get back to the regular scene, and the same thing applies when you go to Granddad's room. So, oh yeah, and turn the volume up a little. Yeah, you guys can hear, I can't. But now I got my speakers on. So there's a trigger zone right here that takes you to Granddad's room. So I gotta put a visual thing that lets the player know that there's a trigger zone there. Either a door or like a glowing portal. I wanna like get a glowing portal. Let my cat in real quick. Come in. Okay, door's open for her. Alright, yeah, so when you first get in here, like, Granddad's already doing his patrol. He'll just be walking, like, he walks up to the nightstand, and then he walks back here, he walks up to you, he walks back towards the other nightstand, and then he just, like, crosses between the bed and the TV stand, and he keeps going along that route. And basically, there's a gadget in here, in Granddad's logic, called a follower. Like, this is for looking at you when, like, this is when you get caught. It's inside the caught chip. There's a follower in one, I think it's in, yeah, in the patrol chip. So, P1, P2, P5, there's a follower that tells Granddad to follow each one of these little tags that I put into the floor. Got that from another great tutorial. So there's like P1, P2, P3 over there, P4, P5, and then P6, or something like that. So yeah, Granddad will go to all these places. That was the first thing I sculpted in Dreams, this pipe. Someone else made the pipe stand. I put them together because I was like, this is dope. And I made the burning nugs. You play time, you can see the smoke, like, moving. It looks so realistic. But yeah, first thing that happens, at least the first time you come into this room, is that prompt comes up and tells you how to sneak past Granddad. Right? First thing I sculpted. I did pretty good too. I was like, man, this looks like real weed. And it tells, you know, X to close. But so L3 is to press in the left analog stick to sneak. So I have this sneak function that I programmed into Huey and Riley too. It's wicked. So I press X to start playing, and press in the L stick, and then he gets into sneak mode, and he like puts up the finger, and it actually makes your footsteps more silent too, because you can control the volume of your footsteps. So yeah, it's brilliant. And like when you're sneaking, you have to get close to him for him to catch you. It's like about this close. See, and he grabs his arms, like, busted, and Huey's like, So cool. I still can't hear much. I didn't turn it up loud enough. There we go. Now I hear it. Yeah, there's like a referee whistle that blows. I've used the same sound in Real Estate Liberator. But yeah, but if you're not sneaking, see, he'll catch you like way farther away. So if you're not sneaking, like, he catches you like right there. I don't know what it is. It's probably like 12 feet. But if you're sneaking, see, you can get like this close to him and he won't catch you. But then he catches you if you're too close. So yeah, it's pretty cool because it's not really too difficult. Like, you know, I made it so it's it's plenty easy enough to sneak past him, go over here, and it says take keys, triangle, beep, triangle, and then to get out of here before he comes back. Oh, he's coming. Take some weed. Oh. But yeah. And now that we got... Now, I had to fix a bug where if he caught me while I had the keys, I would still have the keys because it already switched the variable. Now I fixed it to where if he catches me after I get the keys, then when you leave, you don't have the keys. So see, I don't have a gas can in the bottom left corner yet because I didn't get away with the keys successfully. I got caught. So I go here, I sneak right past him, grab the keys, triangle. I'll sneak past him again. And then, ta-da! Now I've got the keys. So see the gas in the bottom left corner? There's a 3D HUD, which is like on a camera rig. So pretty interesting. Like if you go into edit mode, you can see there it is. There's the camera. There's like a 3D cash sculpt here, a 3D gasoline, and it's all on an invisible, like, rectangular prism. Yeah, Granddad is in there and out here. Yeah, I don't see a problem with it really, because I think, you know, what I want to do is like, I'm gonna have Granddad have other things to do too, like so that once you unlock the house and steal the keys, that's done. But then you might have to like talk to him for other reasons, you know? And he might like question you later in the game about the car, you know, because we just took the keys. Now that we took the keys, when you go up to the garage button, the button works now when you hold triangle. And it like lights up. And it makes the noise, like the creaking sound. And yeah, if you don't get the keys, that garage door doesn't work, and then the car doesn't have the button when you go up to it. But see, now the gas can appears because I just picked it up. 2 gallons. Because yeah, I have the keys now. And there was a glitch where if you already had 24 gallons, which is the max amount of gas that you can have in the car, you would still be able to pick up gas cans. So that was no good. I was like, oh shit, I want the player to, you know, not have to waste cans, even though like all the cans and all the cash respawns as soon as you leave the level and come back. But whatever, you know. I just feel if they have full gas, then the gas can should just reject them trying to pick it up, and that's what I programmed it to do recently. So this is cool. Like these gas pumps work. If you position yourself right in between the two, you can use them both at once, and it like goes a little bit faster. But gasoline is $2 a gallon. And you can watch your money up in the top left corner and your gas in the bottom left corner, like as you hold X to see like how much you're spending, and then it shows up on the screen of the pump. It's telling you to press X, and it's telling you how many gallons. But from a certain angle, like sometimes you can't see it. See, like so I'll have to get that fixed because. Yeah, and then once you run out of money, it just says insufficient funds. But see, like some of the screens, like yeah, it's all about how far away the text gadget is from the face, I think, of the sculpt. Because you can't see the gallons and the other stuff from the car inside like this, but you can see the insufficient funds screen, no problem. So I placed that text correctly. I know, right? Gas so cheap in this alternate reality. Hey, they call it dreams. Make your dreams come true. Cheap gas. But yeah, I programmed so many cool things into this dude, like, holy moly, like, the wheel turns by itself. Like, the car is already programmed to do that. So I animated his arms moving like this, and, like, I kind of got lucky, dude, because I have not been animating for a long time, and it really looks like he's turning that wheel, but he's not. Right? I know the bobblehead. It's so funny. I got the idea for it like a long ass time ago, but then one night I was like, man, I gotta add that. What was I supposed to add? Oh yeah, the Obama bobblehead. Granddad would have that in his car. Listen, boy, damn it, I love me some John with a spoon and Barack Obama. John with a spoon and Cosby, Bill Cosby. But yeah, so once you get both weapons, like I have the sword already. Pick up this gas. That was a big gas container, so it gave me 5 gallons. Because this is a hidden area, you know, inside the little parking deck. And you can't get to this parking deck without using the car and hitting the jump, eh? So that's why I put the glove in here. And this is a big fat $50 of cash in here. $50, 5 gallons gas, and then once you pick up the glove, it gives you this cutscene where it tells you to use the wardrobe to change between the sword and Black Power Fist. So there's that initial wardrobe at the cul-de-sac where your house is. And then there's one at the gas station. I copied it, and I have 2 teleporters inside of Huey's logic that tell him where to jump out of when you run into the phone booth wardrobe thingies, like here at the gas station. And those wardrobes don't appear until you get both weapons. But see, now that I changed, it played the buzz noise, and now I've got the Black Power Fist. And yeah, but like, wait, oh man, when you reverse, like, Huey looks back like he's backing up, it's so cool. But yeah, it just looked like the driving looked so realistic, and Riley just sitting there with his hand on the side, like, holy mac. Oh yeah, no, this car handles amazing. Like, and yeah, I didn't want to make a hard game, you know. I wanted to make a fun game. And this car, like the tutorial I followed, I found like they did a good job at like showing you how to put the car together, so I was able to basically make it so that the analog was sensitive so that the turns are really sharp so that you're not flying off the road all the time. Now, one issue here is like I just ran out of gas on this parking deck, and there's no way, like, if you jump off this parking deck, you can't get back on it without the car, so if you already got all the gas up here, then you're screwed. But you can leave the scene and then come back to the scene and do it that way, but I'm thinking of having a better fix for that. There's a bunch of cash up here. Went and placed a bunch of I don't know if that's bad or good. But yeah, some gas cans under here. And they all vibrate your controller, all these pickups, anytime you pick up cash. Oh yeah! It's Joe. Wait. My friend. I know who it is. Yeah, it's Huey Freeman, dude. I'm making a Boondocks game. Yeah, Huey and then Riley in the passenger seat. And, yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. Not other people, like, no one else was, okay, word. I know it. My friend was just streaming and he was like, oh, I don't know if I could say people's names on stream. And I was like, oh man, I never thought about that. Maybe people don't want you saying their names on stream, but I never minded, but, you know. Yeah, so there's the Black Power Fist. So I can reset the scene, and yeah, it reverts. It brings the car back and stuff. Um, so I can. One cool thing. Yeah, when you press square when you're in the car, you get lights and you get brights, and they work like they're functional. So sick, but of course, rewinds time to the day or whenever it was when you began the scene, so it's daytime again, sadly. So the lights, like, you really see like their true usefulness at night. But yeah, thanks, dude. Like, you have no idea how much work went into this. Like I said, a lot of things in here like other people made and I just plopped down in like a lot of these house models and stuff. But I modeled this car. Someone else modeled the seats, but I modeled the car and the dashboard and like the Obama bobblehead in here. You know, well, actually, someone modeled the Obama head and then someone modeled the body. I put them together and then put it on that presidential seal stand that someone else made, and I made it into a bobblehead and used someone else's spring. So yeah, it's so funny like what you can do in this game. Yeah, no, I agree, man. The nighttime is way too dark, but I haven't took the time to edit it yet because you can edit it. It's in that little chip, I think. But yeah, it's just this day and night cycle that, yeah, it's sick. You can tell it how long you want a day to be, and in my case, I set it to 370 seconds. Originally, I had it in 420 seconds, but that was way too long for a day to transpire. So I changed it to 370 seconds, which puts it at 7 minutes for a day to pass in game time. Right, yeah, Huey wouldn't, but that's the thing. It's Granddad's car. You gotta remember that. And Granddad is a big Obama supporter. But yeah, in the game, like when you like this is how it starts. You talk to Granddad. He just tells you to go in and get Riley. I didn't put like any dialogue between Riley and Huey like telling you, hey man, we gotta take Granddad's car. I don't wanna walk all the way to, you know, wherever we're going. I gotta add more objectives in this game. So far I've just got Granddad's room and Thugnificent's mansion, but when you talk to Riley, you have to convince him to go along with you. No, so oh hell yeah, use True G. That's what I tell him. Listen, try and roll out with your boy play up. You go, word. Alright, Huey, let's bounce. And then he joins your party and follows you. Now, see, this is where Granddad's room is. And when you come back, see, it tells you use L3 to sneak past Granddad, and Granddad's like patrolling his room, and the keys are over on the nightstand. But you press X to close. See, if you go back here, Riley pops up right behind me because he's in my party. It used to be like Riley, once you come back, Riley would be stuck in this room again, and you wouldn't have to talk to him or anything, but you'd have to come and and then he would follow you. But now I have it to where whenever you go anywhere, and you come back, then Riley's right there. So it's it's sick. But it's a teleporter that teleports him where you are, wherever you come back from. Dude, right? Thank you, dude. I've been working on this forever. And of course it's not all by one person. Because, like, this room, for example, like, everything else here was made by someone else, pretty much. Like, I don't see one thing in here I made except that pipe. But I did curate it all. I put all of it together in the arrangement that it has in it. I was like, man, this looks like a real fucking bedroom. This is crazy. But yeah, see, someone made these keys, but I put the logic all together to where you take them with triangle and it tells you to pick them up. Yeah, he's just walking around. Here's his weed pipe. He's coming back. He's gonna catch me. See, watch. He crosses his arms. He's like, oh shit. And so yeah, there was a glitch before where you could just leave after getting busted and you would have the keys anyway, but it doesn't work like that anymore. Also, notice it's nighttime now, and it remains nighttime, like when you go from one scene to the other, like it's nighttime out there. Oop, I got busted again. And then it's nighttime when we go back to the main scene. Looking out the, you can just kind of tell, like, but yeah, it's dark out there. But let's steal the keys. So we steal the keys, sneak. Yeah, you press in L3 to sneak, and he does that pose. I was telling Jason about this. He does this pose, and then it makes it so that Granddad doesn't catch you unless you're really close to him. And when you sneak, it makes your footsteps quieter. It reduces it to like 30% of the normal volume. So now when I leave with the keys, I got my gas in the bottom left corner now. There's the sword. I pick it up.
Swordmaster.
It does that. Swordmaster. But yeah, night is so dark, man. And it's so hilarious. It's like only the gas station's lit up. Magnificent's Mansion. And then like all these little chain places. Somebody else made those. They're sick. They're like little mall pieces. Like, but yeah, now that I got the keys, the garage door will work and the car will work. And we can drive over. See, when you turn on the lights at night, then they actually, like, it looks so cool. But yeah, I only ever use brights. But yeah, over here, somebody else made these, like, this mall sign and the buildings. But I made the text designs on some of them. Like, I made this wall mall. I made it look like Walmart, and I put that little symbol there. And they already had bullseye. I put the donut above the dirty donuts. I found a little donut symbol. Coffee King was already like that. And I put that Mr. Medicinal there because it's the dealer in the Boondocks. He's like a weed dealer that Granddad gets his weed from. Word. Have a good one, Joel. Take it easy now. Have a good night's sleep. I just recently added the little parking spaces. Some cash right there. Yeah, and it's a different HUD when you're in the car versus when you're on foot. And you could kick around these little balls here, like for fun. And I don't have like a button you can press where he actually kicks it yet. Like, that's a little bit harder to set up. You'd think that just like, if he can like run into it like this and kick it around, that if you just made a kick animation and press the button and had him do it right next to the ball, that it would work. But alas, it's not that simple. But yeah, for now, I just have it to where you can like walk and kick the ball by walking. And the balls are pretty bouncy. Peace, buddy. So yeah, over here at the Magnificent's Mansion. Oh, hold up. Let me go to, can I block? Yes. There we go. Always pasting that link, weirdo. Ha! So much for trolling my stream with spam. Yeah. There's nothing to do at Thugnificent's place yet, but yeah, this water and fog somebody else made, but oh man, they're so sick. I was just like, I put it together for the hot tub. I made these little stairs though. You can tell because they're like a little bit fucked up. They cross like. Dun, dun, dun. But yeah, the idle animations still work here. Put a mini fridge and stocked it with some soda and beer. Just, staged it a little bit. And I'm not sure what we're gonna have to do here, but I'm gonna make it involve Riley though. So you'll be able to like press a button and switch and play as Riley. And then, because we're in Thugnificent's mansion, and like according to the lore of the show, like Riley should be doing this part that involves Thugnificent. He'll do something to earn this lethal interjection crew chain right here. I'm gonna make it into a pickup. Because everyone in lethal interjection has these chains. Like Thugnificent has one. And in the show, he earns it by like standing on top of a jeep, like getting out of a moving jeep and standing on top of it or something, some crazy shit. But yeah, in this game, I'll have him do something inside Thugnificent's mansion, like maybe push around some boxes and sneak past some people or whatever. And then, but yeah, originally I just made this book and then I painted Lennon on it and added the little text, like it's text gadget that has each piece, like state is one line and revolution is one line, and then yeah, Lennon. So if you deleted like the microchip, you just have that. But it's a remix of that blue book, so it operates the same exact way. And all I did was like, sculpt this book shape and kind of put like ridges in the side. There's like a couple rectangles that make that, and then like looking at the sculpt, like yeah, you can take away all the detail of the paintings and see that this one is like composed of that and then that hollowed out from that, and then you can see this is composed of that rectangle with each slice hollowed out from the side. And then I just copied this side onto that side. And then there's this connector, which, this blue part is over the, the other spine, the other side of the spine of the book that moves. And then this yellow is like as far as it can go, because once it opens all the way, I don't want it to like bend backwards too much. But if you moved that, you could make it so that you could bend the book backwards, I think. Or maybe not, because I think 180, they might limit your limit to 180. Oh, I already have it open, that's why. Yeah, max limit is 180 degrees. But if you put it lower, 96%, now you can't open it all the way. It only opens that much. Hmm. 38 degrees. See, the range of motion is now like nothing. But the way I have it set up by default is so that it's closed and then you can open it all the way flat, and then that's where it stops. And yeah, it's so funny, like by default, it's just this like what would you call it? Like ideal physical space, ideal physics. So like there's just uninterrupted inertia. So if you just throw it, it keeps going forever. It's like being out in space. If it gets too far away and you can't grab it with your imp anymore, it's funny. But yeah, you just chuck stuff out into the abyss. Because I have ignore gravity on, I think, for that. And no, yeah, I'm not sure what exactly you're talking about, but that's why I love this game, because you can do anything. Like, no matter how specific you think it is, there's a way to accomplish it. It's crazy. And it took me a long time to figure out a bunch of stuff. But yeah, like this stop sign, I would argue that I made the best stop sign in the Dreamverse. I don't remember. It was like a throwback, because remember I modeled the stop sign in 3ds Max, so I knew like what Boolean subtractions to do to get like exactly the shape you're supposed to for a stop sign. Because yeah, the stand has that very specific shape, you know? And there are folks in the Dreamverse that got the sign, the face of the sign, more accurate than me. Like they carved out the letters stop perfectly. And I don't know how they did it, but I think I'm the only one who made like the stand exactly how they are in real life, like a metal stand shaped like that with the holes in it and then the bolts going through that has the sign on. But it's not logical yet or anything. Like, you can't unscrew the bolts and have the sign fall apart. It's just like the metal and the bolts, the stand and the bolts is one sculpt consisting of all this stuff, and then the sign is its own sculpt. And there is no octagon. There's only a hexagon in this game. So in order to get the octagon, you have to take like a cylinder and do it like this. You put it on the grid. And then after you got a cylinder, you take a cube, right? You go into subtract mode, so now you're subtracting. And then put the grid to an increment that is comfortable. And then you go into the guides here, and there's this kaleidoscope, and you set it to 8. And now there's all these cubes ready to erase. Now, because I already have that thing there sculpted, it's going to center on that. But if I made a new sculpt, it would be ready to go, you know? It would be like, oops, this without the thing. I might have to do it like that. Then that, subtract, cubes, yeah, see? And then you see, oh yeah, I have to move this over. Right like that. Octagon. Cylinder, and then 8 cubes. And that's how I got the octagon face for that. But yeah, like if you just go search for in dream shaping, if you go to stop signs, I'll show you what I mean. Like, yeah, this is a 6 stop sign. But it's just a cylinder for the post. But I like that they have bolts in the back and stuff, though. And that, yeah, they got those letters perfectly. Like, I don't know how they figured out how to do that. But, you know, you could probably get away with that with basic shapes. Because you can, like, you know, you can cut cylinders in half to get, like, the top of this O and the side of this P. But the S, like, in this diagonal part is the part that confuses me the most. I don't know how they did that. Maybe. I guess when you have the grid on, it snaps to 45-degree turns. So I guess that helped a lot. Yeah, the grid helps with so much. But yeah, I literally started like with a blank screen and built this game all the way up to this. Like, if we went all the way back and looked at the first version, it's so crazy how everything's like documented. But holy moly, like this was the first version. Dun, 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 dun. Literally all I had was the home block, which wasn't a cul-de-sac yet. It was a square block. The grass, the Freeman residence, the wardrobe, and then Stink Meter and Uncle Ruckus, which I could fight in these earlier versions. There's health bar and stuff. Backstab. Come on, let me get the backstab. Gameplay is not super smooth. I got the backstab now. But yeah, when you go into the wardrobe. So yeah, there was a point where this was all it was. Just this big no man's land. I just had these jumps, these 2 jumps, and this little platform. There was no parking deck, no nothing, no city. And yeah, I just slowly built it up. And over what period of time? Yeah, this is from December 2021. So yeah, about a year, right? Because yeah, a year. A little bit over a year. And then added all that stuff. And then eventually, I made the cul-de-sac, right? And the funniest thing happened, like, because I was in Woodcrest editing, and I made the cul-de-sac, and I broke that version. And so, like, I had to export the cul-de-sac. And so I exported the cul-de-sac, and then reverted to an old version and saved it again, and then re-imported the cul-de-sac so I could not lose my work. But yeah, it has the little carve out for the mansion thing already here. And I just popped it back in, and it helped save some graphics thermo space too. But yeah, like this dashboard and steering wheel is like its own piece, all in one thing. So if people want to use it for their creations, you know, they could put it in their own car. But by default, you can just grab the wheel and turn it. You turn this on, and you can possess it. And then the stick will turn it left and right while your imp sits in the driver's seat. And there's little speedometers there too, if you see, like, they will, yeah, they work in my game. I set them up so that, like, this is the speed and this is gas. So, you might not have noticed that, but in the game, like, yeah, it's sick, because, like, I just have these keyframes, see minimum speed, where it puts it down, minimum speed, maximum speed, it puts it all the way up, then minimum, or max gas, gas full, gas empty, all the way down, And so it just transitions from those keyframes based on a floating decimal point between 0 and 1. I saw you said something just now, but I can't see it in my YouTube chat. That's so weird. I'll reload this real quick. Weird. Right. But yeah, so there's speedometer, and then there's these. Like, this is a rotation sensor. So, and then it gets the angular velocity on the y-axis, and for this, like, yeah, this little gizmo pops up. So the y-axis in local space, you can see, is on the face where the steering wheel turns. So it senses rotation, and then there's a splitter that gives you the positive signal and then a negative signal. Which one is turning? I named them turning right and turning left. But if you run it in test mode, you can watch, because these little gadgets will fill up based on how fast you're turning it in which way. And when you turn it right, the bottom one will light up, and then when you turn it left, the top one will light up. So I go into test mode. See, watch these two little chips. See, I'm turning it right, and I'm turning it left. Turning it right, and turning it left. Turning it right, turning it left. Turning it right. So you can wire up these nodes then. You can, I go back in the edit. If I were to, see, I could wire up something else, so that when the player turns the wheel, something happens, you know? It triggers an event. And so I remixed that into this as well. There's a valve. So it's the same exact, like, gizmo contraption, but in, like, a valve form. If somebody wants, like, a valve where they can turn it and, like, you know, water level rises or something. But it's got the same chip. I just named it Valve Logic on here. It's called Steering Wheel Logic on the steering wheel. And then, yeah, there's all these, like, things. Like, I have a little demo that shows how you can do blocking, attacking, and health. And then sneaking, because it'll chase you until you get certain distance away, and then he starts roaming. And then he'll chase you if you get that close to him again. Unless you're sneaking. And you can't just block anywhere. You have to be in front of them to block. So if I stand up and he starts hitting me, I have to be in front of him and facing him, or it won't let me block. Because I have it with a trigger zone. Because it's using this trigger zone. See, oh, there's a sneak chip. See, all these chips are, like, right up on each other whenever you go into it. But blocking logic, see right here? There's the trigger zone. So here's an AND gate. So it's saying if you're holding the block button, which is R1, and this trigger zone detects, what does it need to detect? A tag or a label. And since it needs to detect a label, you go into this third tab over here, the label tab. It's detecting the label foe. See? Foe is lit up and nothing else is. So trigger zone detects the label foe, and there, see, because this guy, this red guy, who I, in the tags, have labeled a foe, because he's within that green box, that AND gate allows the signal to pass through, and it turns my blocking variable to 1, and then it turns on this keyframe, which is the blocking pose. And then I have other logic that says inside the enemy, it says when you're attacking, blah blah blah. If you're not blocking, see, here's the variable for blocking. If you're not blocking and blah blah blah, then damage is done and the hit sound plays, which goes to this sound chip, which has the hit sound. This is the hit sound right here. And you see it's a different sound each time because this is actually an array of sounds. So it's so cool, like when you have like one sound gadget involving all this, it selects one at random, and yeah, so you get like unique hit sounds every single time. But then the other path is if you are blocking, then it plays the block sound, which is this pillow thud. So see, pillow thud, hit, thud, and when you hit him, you also get a hit sound. And then yeah, with this car, it's funny, there's like in the show, Exhibit pimps out the car and like paints flames on it and like adds a muscle car. So I have it like easily set up so there's this one switch that turns on this keyframe and it removes the tint, because underneath is how the car is originally painted on the sculpt where the flames are, and then I have a red tint over top of it. So when this keyframe turns on, it removes my tint and exposes the flame decals underneath. And then this keyframe also turns on the spoiler, the muscle car motor thingy, and yeah, it's so cool. Like, I think the car will just fall if I start it. But yeah, you can get into it with your imp. And it'll work. But yeah, you just flip that switch, and then that's all I have to do now, because I set it up for myself to be very convenient. So now, I just have to, in the game, program a garage that you drive in where, you say, like, you want to spend $50 to pimp out Dorothy, and then it just flips on the switch, and then you get your, like, fancy car. Like, I've had that since, like, version 2, and I still have not implemented it in the game. But yeah, if I go into VR, I can, like, demo the, nunchucks real quick. Yeah, I guess I gotta leave my main DualSense on, though, since it's the microphone. Yeah, and then, yeah, that's funny. My camera just, it goes to black because the VR needs these lights in order for the controllers to work. But yeah, turn on my headset. Okay, all clear. Okay. Good. And yeah, there we go.
Perfect. Wow, this is cool. It shows you exactly what I see. Alright, so yeah. So now I've got this set up where I've got a beam on the dominant controller that I can point stuff at, and then the other one, that's kind of a quick way to tell. But there's nunchucks, there's a medieval mace and a medieval mace or flail. I don't know how this exceeds thermometer limits. It's literally 1%. But I have that and the flail used in this scene here called, what's it called? VR motion controller demo. I'm trying to, there we go. Yeah, VR motion controller weapons demo. So when you play it, it uses this shadow puppet, which can possess the enemy character. By default, he's just running at you and attacking you. But yeah, you can move like by kind of pointing your finger and then pulling the trigger. And then this one, when you pull the trigger on the dominant hand, it grabs. So this guy. And then when you push in a button and like tilt this, you can spin. You can change where you're going like while you're moving like that. So you can go over to the table and then grab these. There's like a little pointer, which is made of like a circle fleck. Somebody made this puppet. It works really good, but I set it up so that he hit himself on my I'll stop trying to get it like that. He hit himself on one of these ends, because one is the grabbing end and one is the part you swing, right? So you see his health bar there. When I swing it at him, his health will go down, and it vibrates my controller. And it's cool because like the way these handles are shaped matches the shape of the motion controller. So it feels like you're actually swinging a nunchuck sometimes if it's like calibrated right. You have your imp centered. But say I just got rid of these and like threw them into the abyss. I have built-in nunchucks and mace flail into the puppet. I built it into the puppet. So you just knock your controllers together, one the bottom to the top of the other, and then your nunchucks appear. You got built-in nunchucks. Do it again, then your mace appears. And that's all of his health. So yeah, it's really fun. Like I just wanted to make some stuff in VR, and I thought like a really cool basic thing to do would be nunchucks and a mace. And so I got that accomplished. And I think I was telling you this before, but like the string that you see isn't the string that is actually doing the like swinging, the physics part. There's like two things working in harmony. Like you can scope in here and delete the physical string. But this right here with the yellow node on the parent and the blue on the child is the actual logical swing. So when you play time, see, it still swings and it works. But if you're in play mode, it looks like it's hanging on nothing. If I can look at it, I don't know where it is. Oh, it probably fell down. Go to default. Oh, there we go. Yeah, see? So it's still, the real string, the logical string is still there. But the visual string is not there. And likewise, if I just deleted the logical string, then the whole thing just falls apart. And when you hit play, it does this. it stretched out the string forever because the string is still connected at both ends. But if I change that, like if I went into these menus, told this one not to be connected at both ends. See, attached at both ends. Just turn that off. Turn it off for this one. And then, see, it just falls off and the string stays still. Just stays right there. So, it's attached at one end by being grouped into the handle. And then it's attached at the other end by you just select it with the, it's inside the little thing, like in the menu. See, when you pick attached at both ends, if I turn it on, then it starts like, it'll start blinking, like right here. Shows that it already has something selected. But yeah, see there, now it's cleared. So attach end to object, when you click it, then it starts blinking, and if I selected the handle, it wouldn't work. You have to attach, because it's already grouped into the handle. If I select the handle, and I play, well, it seemed to work for that one. I'm not even sure, but but yeah, I have the string like scoped into the handle, and then I tell it attached to the flail part. And then like with the nunchucks, it's not obvious, so I color coded it to be the red, the handle you grab. But that's all I've done in VR so far. Yeah, the first thing I made was the plastic pipe stem. And then I made the bowl. And then I made the nugs and put the weed in the nugs. And yeah, short after I had Real Estate Liberator. And then, yeah, it just got so out of hand. I just kept going. I really like my Ferris wheel though. It's just such like a simple, like, it's so simple and beautiful. It's just, see, the wheel is rotating on this bolt, and then each gondola rotates on a bolt, where the Ferris wheel itself is the parent, and then each gondola is the child. And yeah, I just put the blue connector on the opposite side, and I just have it like spinning along this axis, because if you want like a door or a hinge of some sort, you can rotate this. In fact, I'll show like some how to do like simple logic stuff and doing like, if I just start creating here, new element or scene, you can still hear me, right? I've left my controller on. There is a, yeah, the grid. I love using the grid right here. Grid snap, boom. So by default, just start with a blank scene, put a little puppet down. Spin him over you. Boom. And then yeah, it's so simple, like you start sculpting. Sculpt mode. Like legit, I could just go into this sculpt and start adding to this. and add walls here, like with a this, and then edit shape. Like that. Bam, walls. And see, you can stretch it after the fact as well. Now you exit that. So I scoped into this and changed it. I just changed the original platform to include the walls now. So now it's all one big sculpt. So I don't even have to worry. Because every time you start a new sculpt like this, see, it gives you a 100% perfect quality cube, which takes up a lot of your thermometer, which is there, right here. See, 3%. If I just go to tools, reduce sculpture detail, see that thing's red. It's telling us it's too high quality. You could get it really down. You can make it absolutely hideous. That's a cube, everyone. But yeah, no need for that. What I do have a need for is a door, though. See, you can just search for a door. Any door. You can just... Whoop. Whoops. Just use someone else's door, man. See? Right here. Boom. Door. It just so happened to fit right in that gap. But, yeah. Now that we got a door, you know, your grid has everything lined up really well. So I just really like, see, change the coarseness of the grid, and you could get the door like, you know, in a place you want it to be, sorta. But see how I just do that? Let's go back into these guys. Stretch it. So yeah, now I go into gadgets, close that, see, connectors, ball joint. Not ball joint, bolt right next to it. But it doesn't matter, because if you clicked ball joint and placed it, you can go into the menu and change it right here. See, connector, ball joint, you change it to bolt. Now it's a bolt. Whoops. But yeah, I selected bolt. And I like to have my grid on. Yeah, we'll put it to like 4. Now we'll put it to 2. 2 is perfect. See? So now it's like snapping. So I like to go straight across. And see, first you select the parent object, and it puts that yellow bulb there, and then you select the child object, and it puts that blue one. And then the purple one just ends up in between. So, you know, as soon as you clip it, bolt. So, parent is going to be the wall, because the wall stays still. Whatever relatively stays still is always the parent, and then whatever moves is the child. So we put that there. And then this, since we're snapped to the grid, it'll allow us to rotate it by 90. Now, you can see it'll show you when you click on it, it has that little disc. So that's the way it's spinning, like around this way. You just hit play. Gravity will kind of make it spin like that. So that was obviously perfect for my gondolas, except that I wanted to turn limits on, right? So that the gondolas would not like swing past up a certain point, so that they wouldn't like loop-de-loop around. So you can use limits for that, and it'll make it stop spinning once the once the blue handle comes in contact with either of the yellow handles. So, and you can move them around to adjust, you know, how far you want it to spin. But I turn it off for now. Get it turning the right way, because that's not how a door turns. See, you twist it. When you twist it like that, now which way is it going to turn? Is this the right way? No. now it goes like around that disc. So if we're looking at the disc, we twist it one more time like that. Maybe that's how. I don't know. Yeah, probably. Press play. And we've just got gravity from down, so nothing's happening. But we open this tweak menu for the door. And then in the physical properties section, see there's a Newton's cradle that tells you it's the physical properties. And you go back to the bottom here. Imp interaction. See? Make it grabbable. You turn on grab, and that's all it takes, babe. You just play. Go into the play mode. And you can grab this door now and pull it open and shut. So for a game, if the door were just like here, you know, and you'd be running around with your character. So you're running around with your character dun, 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 through the level. And then you get here, then you would press circle to get your imp, grab the door, pull it open, then get back in your puppet, and then run through. And then maybe, depossess and shut the door behind you or something. But see, the door's like going through the wall, and there's nothing that stops it from spinning the full 360 degrees. It'll just spin like that. And that's where limits come in. You know, you just go to the edit mode, rewind time. I'll open this little menu, tell it to use limits. And initially it's all jacked up. I want 180 degree limits. And I put them like here and here. And then this blue part, the blue handle goes over the thing you're swinging, so we put it right in the middle where the door is. And now the door, which is the blue, can swing all the way up to this yellow, and then once it hits there, it stops. And then it can swing all the way up to this yellow, and then once it hits there, it stops. So now, when we play the game, play mode. Now, when we open the door, we can't just swing it through the wall. It stops right at the limit that we set. Same thing on that side. So you don't even like really need to make the walls collidable, but you could do it that way too and make sure that it collides with the door. But the way Dreams is set up is that connectors make objects not collidable with each other by default, which is, I think, the way it should be. Because you want body parts like an arm, a forearm right next to a bicep. You don't want those to be colliding. You want those to be able to overlap, you know? So then, yeah, you can just build the game here. Take a trigger zone. Boop. Make it big so I can see it. My eyes suck. Stamp it down. And you see what your shape is. Change it to a cube when you're at a door. Cube right there. And then it'll detect possessed controller sensors, so that's okay. Whatever our puppet is, it'll automatically detect any puppet that walks into there. So by default, the trigger zone is pretty much set up for you. And now, detected. Once it's detected, what do we want it to do? I guess we could have it open the door. You just take keyframe, make it big, boop, plop it down, and then you can open the door. You just move it open, and then stop recording, boom. And now, wire to the power of that keyframe, and that's it. So now, we have the door turning on just by walking up to it. So yeah, it'll always put it back into that position. And with keyframes, it's really cool. Like, there's built-in smoothing, so you could just see smoothing, slow power up, slow power down, 1.5 seconds each. And then yeah, that's all you have to do to make it not like happen like immediately. Just give it a slow power up or slow power down. And since it swings like all the way back, you could just have another keyframe that's always on. Like this, where the door is just... Oh, whoops. Where the door is in its default position, more or less. But it doesn't have to be perfect. And then this keyframe will just override this one. Or it might give you a mix of the two. Sometimes that will happen. It will blend the data, the spatial coordinate data, and give you a mix of the two keyframes. So yeah, no, it's going back to the default keyframe. So that's good. Because yeah, when we go away, this signal stops, so that keyframe turns off entirely. But if we turn this on, if we had this keep changes, then that keyframe would stay on, and then it would fight this keyframe for influence over the door. And then now it will be a mix of the two. And so when we walk away, it'll go like... Right? Did I do it that way? Oh no, it just keeps the changes. Yeah, of course it does. Because yeah. But, okay, so in that case, to demonstrate it, if we just deleted the trigger zone then, turn off keep changes, just delete the trigger zone, and see when they're both fighting for influence. Huh, that's weird. Seems like neither of them are working now. Oh, on. There we go. Yeah, see? See how it gives you a blend of the two when they're both on? Because one keyframe tells it to go all the way out, and the other keyframe tells it to stay. So when they're both on, it gives you the midpoint. And yeah, I could have demonstrated it just like that. When you select a keyframe, it shows you what happens. So if I left the trigger zone in, boop, all I have to do is see, revert to the beginning of time. I select one keyframe, it shows you that. I select the other keyframe, it shows you it's staying still. Now if I select them both, select this one, and then this one, and it shows you the midpoint. There's no keyframe that is this position, but that's what the blend of the keyframes is. So that's what it registers as when you select both, or when both keyframes are powered. It's amazing, like, what you can do with that, because, like, I used that for this little look around chip for inside the car. Like if you look at the wood crest, We unfreeze our stuff. In the car, you can look around by pressing the left analog stick up, down, left, and right. And so the way I did that, if you go in, open this chip, this is the car logic. There's the the HUD, and tip upright, very puppet drive logic, cameras. Now, look around. See this chip I built called Look Around. And there's one frame. See, here's the camera that shows where your first person view is pointing from. There's the Obama bobblehead again. So this camera is being animated by these keyframes. So one is the rightmost position when you're looking all the way to the right. One is the leftmost position. That camera goes all the way to the left. One is the bottommost position where your camera's looking at your feet. And one is the topmost position where you're looking up at the sky. So if I select two of these cameras, it blends. See, top and the bottom gives you looking straight ahead. Left and right gives you looking straight ahead once again. So it's taking the split from that splitter, and that splitter is getting it from this signal, which is this signal, which is the analog stick. Yeah, this controller sensor is huge, but it's coming from this analog stick here. The left stick, the local one. See, this wire is hooked into this look around chip. See, you can see it coming from... Actually, it's the right stick that I use to look around. See? And it takes the signal strength, and to the degree that you're pushing in the stick, if you're pushing it in all the way forward, then it's a 1. If you're only pushing it a little bit, so it has sensitivity. To the degree that you're pushing the stick, it powers that keyframe. So altogether, that's how you are able to look at very specific places in the car. There's only 4 keyframes. The rightmost position, leftmost position, topmost position, or bottommost position, and topmost position. I shut off these motion controllers. And then my VR headset. Turn off my VR headset. Bloop.
Yeah, so you got the 4 keyframes. But when you play, and I'll just go ahead and cheat and tell the game I have the car even though I don't. Key fob, variable called key fob, just change the initial value to 1. See, stuff like that is how I have set up to debug. But I will never move my Huey. Forget that, man. That's crazy. You still have to run your Huey over to the garage and over to the car. Now, it doesn't recognize that I have key fob enabled because this rewind button while you're playing won't do it. You have to hit this rewind button in edit mode for some reason for the variables to reset. And now it knows that I have the car. See the gasoline in the bottom left corner, 16 gallons. Yeah, I didn't have to go steal it because I just told the game that variable was on 1 by default. What was I going to show at the car? Oh yeah, the speedometer. See? There's the speed. And then there's the gas on the right. That shows you that we're almost full gas because 24 is a full tank. But see? Here's my L stick. All the way at the bottom. I think my camera's gone now. But yeah. When you do the right stick, all the way down, it's that frame. All the way left, it's that frame. But see, every approximation in between is also available. And every approximation in between that frame, the rightmost, and the bottom frame is available. Everything between the rightmost frame and the topmost frame is available. Between these 4 frames, you can look like every single direction, pretty much, within the 180 degrees that you got for your field of view here while driving. Really sick. And yeah, there's if we just run our gas all the way out, see, speedometer all the way up, because we're going fast as we can. See our gas running down on the right side. Eight, we're almost out. 7 gallons, almost out. Just like a real car, man. On E forever, even though you got like a decent amount of gas left. I got 3 gallons still. Keep riding. And we're out. Yeah. Gas station telling me insufficient funds. But there's some cash inside here. But I'm not close enough to the pump. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got. Like, this is what I got so far. But yeah, there's all kinds of things. When you make preview invisibility off, like you see there's this, I have this invisible wall that stops the garage door from poking out. There's the wardrobe, if you have preview invisibility. It's like see-through. See, there's all this logic that controls how the wardrobe works. Swap handling. And this timeline is where the wardrobe cutscene is. But since I didn't need it for the other one, it's not in the other one. The other one is just like a simpler version of this over there at the gas station. Unfreeze it. See, much simpler version is the wardrobe logic. This one doesn't have to worry about the first time you get the glove and the sword together. This one just becomes available whenever the other one does. But yeah. See, when the sword is unlocked, and when the glove is unlocked, and when the wardrobe is unlocked, or when the wardrobe is not unlocked, boom, then that timeline plays. And then once it becomes unlocked, then condition C is no longer true, so that's what stops that cutscene from playing every single time. It plays once when it first realizes, oh, you have both the sword and the glove unlocked, but your wardrobe is still unlocked. And then, after it powers on that, then this switch sends a signal to turn on, to start this timer. And then once the timer's finished, it opens the wardrobe, and can't even find it. There's a But yeah, it changes the variable to wardrobe unlocked now. And then once wardrobe is unlocked, it powers on the wardrobe logic, which handles the swapping. Tells these teleporters in Huey to turn on, teleporting in the swap point 1 and 2. Swap point 1 outside of this one, in these tags. And swap point 2 over at the gas station. And yeah, that's it. For Boondocks game anyway. But yeah, the stuff that other people made just keeps me playing this because it's so intriguing. If I go dream surfing, like, yeah, there's so much stuff. This game, this gallery. Do. Yeah, see this Final Fantasy VII bombing mission? I'll reset my progress. Oh yeah, it's like a showcase. I've done that. It plays the music and it kinda... Oh yeah, I didn't finish putting it in. Yeah, I love like little Final Fantasy VII things. Like, yeah, this, I have no idea. First time I've seen that one. Yeah, see if I press the ones I've played. There we go. Opening title scene, that one's pretty good. Nibelheim. I don't remember doing this, but obviously it says I played it. But yeah, people start from nothing and they make all this stuff, you know? This is the one I liked. This is so cool. Someone made this entire mini game from Final Fantasy VII, the Junin marching, the parade marching game. TV ratings. Ah. Ooh, I pressed the wrong button. Ratings went down. A little slow. Response. There we go. Yeah, this is straight from Final Fantasy VII, you know? Like, this is exactly what it's like when you play this part in the game. And there's only a little window of opportunity to press the button. Yeah, you'd be good at this. Yeah, the march where you You have to perform for the news. Get over here. Yeah, where you get the different prizes at the end if you get good ratings. But yeah, this was one of the first things I saw, and I was really impressed. So I immediately followed that dreamer. Anytime someone interacts with my stuff or I find something cool, I hit this thumbs up and then follow dreamer. So look at their stuff. And, you can visit people's home space too, but most people just leave theirs blank like this. So it's a bummer. So I'm one of the few people who actually does stuff with my home space. Kingdom Hearts fan art. DMG trips. They no home space. I don't know what it is. People don't really customize their home space. Only a handful of people. But you can get extremely photorealistic in this game. Behold. They're yep, this is Dreams. Here's the puppet. Are you kidding me? Look at all that, lighting and what do you call that? Specular reflection. That bun, that looks exactly like a real toasted hot dog bun, And the drink, it really looks like it's pretty cold. And yeah, you can toggle the textures on and off. And there, what was it? Shadows and stuff. Yeah, different lighting. But yeah, man, I wish they made this remixable so I could look at this in edit mode and see how they achieved all this stuff. 'Cause yeah, that looks like a real diner. Little Daft Punk concert. Yeah, pretty good. There's a music mixing suite in here. So, yeah, someone put the bass line together and all the guitar parts and the synth and stuff. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow. That's awesome. So see, thumbs up. Greasy MG. Thumbs up. Follow Dreamer. They have other stuff. But yeah, anytime someone follows you or likes your creation or something, you get a notification. So up here in the activity with this bell, yeah, someone was thumbing up all my stuff. But I'll show you, I like when stuff like this happens, Yeah, see, Cactus Dan Jr. featured analog stick chip version 1.2 in their Element Rasputin Quanto Psychonauts. So they made this Psychonauts character, and yeah, they used my little analog stick chip in it. You go over to genealogy, boop. There it is right there. Analog stick chip V1.2, Jester 876. So yeah, the game credits me and then it like gives me a notification. It's like somebody used your element in their dream. People use this police officer a lot. But someone used my Ferris wheel, I think, a while back. Yeah, like, see, all these stamp. Someone else is trying to make a Boondocks project too. So, like, I looked at it. This is all they got so far. And, so yeah, they have like a dialogue system that they're working on. But yeah, they just imported like all this stuff. But most of these characters are not that far off from the default stickman type thing anyway, so. But yeah, I think the environment looks more like it does in the show, like the driveway is better. So yeah, you know, I'm just curious to see like, no, I'll be making my version and, you know, I hope they keep making theirs and want to find out what it turns out like. I already thumbed it up and I follow them. So, see what they make in the future. But yeah, like, they got the autumn colors right in that scene, I think. Like, that's how it looks in the show, when you're watching the show. But yeah, that's pretty much it. It's just, you know, made some of this stuff a long time ago. But yeah, see, like I was telling you about the music. I made this, the Uncle Ruckus theme. Yeah, right here. See, in a timeline, I found this tuba. And I almost added the shakers too. I had a version, but like it breaks when it plays again when you add another instrument. Like when you have the shakers in, for some reason these shakers wouldn't work. But I can import my own shaker noises if need be. See, it plays Ruckus's theme because like I went into the piano roll here, eh? There's a piano roll mode. And I placed the notes down. I listened to the theme and I eventually figured it out. Because yeah, all it is a tuba, but then there's these shakers that come in. And it's called 4 shakers. I had it. It was so perfect, like... I think it's an instrument. 4 shakers. Yeah, right here. It's made by Media Molecule, so I don't know why it broke it, but I wanted my shakers in there, because that's what happens in the theme song. There's the tuba, and then there's these shakers that come in. And you can play them, like, see. These buttons for individual shakers. And then the D-pad for a roll. And so, in the song, in the theme song, it's like... Yeah, it fades out, so I was using this green, because this green is a fade in and out cloud. So if you start on the outside, it's loud. You go in, it gets quiet. So you just go in and out. But yeah, when I saved it, when it would, because it loops forever, the second time it plays, it would break it, so it was frustrating. But yeah, you can pretty much take any instrument and start composing in the piano roll, and people make entire songs, and it's amazing how accurate they get stuff. Like, you just... Like, I follow someone who makes the entire Final Fantasy OST. It's amazing how well of a job they do with it. Or if I have to go to, or just FF7 music. It's because I'm in dream surfing. There we go. Yeah, see? Look at all the ones they made so far. Like, that is the exact theme. This is from Final Fantasy 9. Yeah, incredible. Final Fantasy 9 battle theme. Buried in the snow. And yeah, like, what a G. He made them, like, available. See, I was gonna give these as prizes. You can make stuff unlockable so that people can only access your elements after they unlock it by beating your game. It's so cool. But yeah, he's a G, so he made them free. But if I go straight into remixing it, like, you can see all the instruments that make it up. If I play the timeline. See, there's Ed's violin ensemble. The violin staccato, wind, brass, harp, electric guitar. Look at it piece by piece and see where the notes are played. Hilarious. And yeah, like, you can choose a time signature and everything. Meter numerator, meter denominator. Let's see. The timeline gets all... Yeah, you can have no time signature as well. So yeah, pretty interesting. People do full-on music production in here, which I've not gotten into yet, which is surprising. But I'm gonna do it more. But yeah, that's pretty much all there is to show for now, I think. But yeah, the genealogy. This water for the hot tub. This is the most beautiful looking water I've ever seen in the game. This creation called Nice Pool. Like, oh my gosh. Like, that looks so real. This scene looks so real. You know? Like, geez, man. So realistic looking. And so, yeah, I was like, man, I have to have that water. I didn't know they had it available, but they did. It's remixable. So I was able to use it, and it shows all the stuff I used in this scene. Oh yeah, the Triforce, because I put a trophy stand. Because see, yeah, we don't have the upstairs yet, but there's stuff in the upstairs. There's this trophy stand. Melee coin, Triforce, PlayStation trophies, piano, wine rack. Cool stuff. And yeah. Remarkably easy once you get the hang of it. Surprisingly. But yeah, hope you enjoyed. Y'all take care now. We'll see you next time.